very happy to have 3 fashion merchandising alumni, and they will share with the audience about their career and how fashion merchandising degree helped them to be successful. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Dr. Davis. I am the professor and a program coordinator of fashion merchandising. Fashion merchandising program is housed in the Department of Marketing and Logistics, and we are part of the Craig School of Business. So our program, in fact, offers 3 degrees. We have a fashion merchandising major, fashion merchandising minor, and also a certificate program. Currently, we are working on proposing a new bachelor's degree of science in business administration with an emphasis or option of fashion merchandising. So we are very excited about this new development. All right, so now let me introduce our panelists to the audience. And we have Alex, we have Leanne, and we have Alexis. So I will let them to introduce themselves for you. For each guest speaker, please share with the audience your name, your current employer, and your position. Alex.
Hi, my name is Alex Cantu. I am a lead merchandiser for Zappos.com. I've been with Zappos for about 11 years now, and I'm responsible with overseeing Zappos' workwear business. I have a team of 4 buyers, a planner, and analysts who roll up into me. And we essentially are responsible for purchasing, managing the inventory, marketing initiatives, and getting the product up on the site as well.
Thank you. Leanne.
Hi, my name is Leanne Esterice. I work for TJX Companies out of the distribution center 3PL building in Ontario, California. One thing about that makes us different, so there is 10 operating DCs, and there is 4 3PLs. The 3PLs are actually very important to our business, especially for TJX. We are typically focused right next to our ports, which is in Long Beach and New Jersey. We get the products to our consumers faster, and from the trailers to your stores much faster, while partnering with our 3PL partners. A big part of my job is partnering with between logistics, planning, allocation, and our home office.
Thank you. Alexis.
Hi, my name is Alexis Tovar. I work for Rival 23, and I am the clothing and women's accessories buyer and visual merchandiser. And I'm in the process of actually switching positions to overseeing the social media partners here. So that's really fun.
Thank you. So can you share with us a little bit more? What are your major responsibilities at the current position? So Alexis, let's start from you.
So basically I'm responsible for creating, like, receiving all of our shipments, making sure everything is like priced correctly, taking care of our SKUs and our POS system so everything matches up, getting all the merchandise processed and then put out onto the floor that like matches our like visual merchandising standards for both locations, and then also overseeing our social media team.
Thank you. Leanne, what about you?
So I currently work the second shift out in Ontario. The major factor of what my position is there's a lot of multiple hats I wear within this company. I am a teammate, I'm a friend, I'm a coach, I'm everything under the sun, because the biggest part about working at a 3PL is you have to know everything and see everything. I look at ticketing, I look at the products that's coming in, I'm looking at the issues that are arising on an everyday basis. At the same time, I'm making sure that the products that we're receiving are within our COC agreements that are, also appropriate for our consumer. There's so many things that we look at on a day-to-day basis, but we definitely want to make sure, I feel like for me, at the DC standpoint, is to ensure that our consumers are getting the right product at the right time, but also they're, going to receive it in the condition that we receive it. So I don't want to send things to my stores that are not giving us that proper mix, that doesn't, look okay. If I see something that doesn't look okay, I'm going to send an email being like, hey, is this how we bought it? So a big part of my job is communicating within planning. And what sucks are, what could be a downfall for us is that at the 3PL, because we partner with a third party, it has a lot of ups and downs. And for us, we are a very small but mighty team. We have to utilize our degrees and our knowledge within the products that we see on an everyday basis, and just kind of go from there. And we have to utilize a lot of our knowledge and experience from whether it was work or school, and be able to problem solve that so that we can get it to the consumer as fast as possible.
Sounds wonderful. Alex, what about you?
So like I said, I am responsible for Zappos's workwear category. And so my team of buyers, we go out, meet with vendors, and select the new products for each season. At the same time, we're also managing our inventory. So we're making sure that we're flowing product in at the right time and not stocking up on stuff. I'm also responsible for forecasting and planning the financial side of the business, making sure that we are hitting the growth targets that our company wants us to hit, and also sharing and communicating that information with our vendor partners so they can plan and prepare their businesses for our demands as well.
Thank you. So what do you enjoy most about your current position? Alex, let's start with you.
I think what I enjoy the most about my position is that I'm having a real impact on what the consumers are wearing out there in the market. I'm working with brands to give them feedback on what my consumers are telling me that they're looking for, and brands are developing that product based on my consumers' needs. So I love, I guess, working with brands on product a lot and developing stuff for our consumers and just having that impact. That if I'm out like in the world and I see somebody wearing my stuff, I'm like, hey, I helped develop that and worked with brands on getting that made.
Wonderful. Thank you. Alexis, what about you?
I love that I get to be creative in my role, and I feel like working for a small business. I love when I also see people like out in public wearing our clothing that we selected. It's like one of my favorite things. And I also really love that I get to like be in store and like kind of like learn from our customers and see what they're loving about our store, see what they're not loving. And I just love building that customer relationship with this business because it's so small knit, and I feel like a lot of people that shop here like come to be helped by the ladies that work for us. I just love the like community that we've kind of like grown in this business.
Thank you. Leanne, what about you?
Oh my gosh, I shop where I work. It's dangerous. I hate to say it, but I mean, I worked on the store side for 3 years before I came over to the DC. So I can say every time I see something, you'll hear me in the lanes when I'm checking product. You'll see me. My layup associates will say, "Oh, we can hear Leanne." She's like, "Ooh, it's pretty." I'm like, "Ooh, this is cute." Like, it's so tempting. Like, I'm like a 5-year-old kid in the DC because I'm like, I'll walk around and I will like whether it's in ticketing, whether I can be like all the way on the other side of the DC, and I will see something and I'm like, I need to go see what that is, and I need to be like. It's just like I'm a 5-year-old kid, but the best part is I can't buy it, so that's the only thing that saves my bank account. But it's like if I see candles, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I do go and check the whole lane, and I'm like, I have to do a sniff test for my customers because this is our money maker right here, but I definitely can say I love where I work. I'm a big shopper where I work, so I think it's very exciting. Like Alex and Alexis have said, like it's great to people will always talk about TJX, Marshall, Home Goods, And it's just like, I even go into my old stores and I'll be like, hey, what's going on? What's your back room looking like? What's good? Like, and I still know my old managers, so they're just like, oh no, Leanne's in town. And I'm like, yeah, you know it. So, I'm going to be looking at your jewelry, I'm going to be looking at the ticketing. I'm looking at everything because a lot of it comes out of my DC. So if I see an issue, I'm going to be taking pictures and being like, no. Like, but like I said, I do love where I work, and it's very tempting a lot of the time.
Wonderful. Sounds you guys have lots of fun. So next question is, what are your future aspirations for your career? Let's start with Alex.
So I was saying, like, I love working in products, so I would love to get into a product line manager role and help a brand drive its product direction and creation. I don't know, it's just a lot of fun to like pick up a shoe and say, hey, I want to change this, I want to change that, and then see like those changes come to fruition, and then be seeing your product go out to market and seeing how much like the consumers love it. So I'd love to get into like a product design or product line management role.
Okay, so that's more about the product development in the future.
Correct, yes.
That's wonderful. What about Leanne?
So for me, I actually have discussed with my upper management several times about moving and relocating to Boston, going into the home office. I definitely want to look into becoming an allocation analysis. That's one thing I've been, for whatever reason, I don't know where that came from, but that's wasn't the original plan. But I've been looking into that and logistics on transportation. Like I said, like I don't know where this whole, just transportation, logistics, or even product analysis or product allocation came from, but it's just, I kind of feel drawn to it. But I've also haven't shut myself down for any of the other opportunities that are presenting themselves within the other DCs, possibly going into a major DC, who knows? But I definitely can say that there's so many opportunities. I just don't know which one I want to take just yet.
Sounds wonderful. Alexis, what about you?
Well, over the past 2 years working for a small business, I've just like loved the like drive and the hours and just really putting your all into seeing this like small thing grow into something so big. So I really enjoy where I'm working now, and I want to see where that takes me for the next couple of years. But it's just giving me ideas that I want to like start something of my own and build something from basically the ground up and work on procurement for my own brand. And yeah.
So maybe one day you will have your own store, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. All right. So thank you for sharing with us your work experiences. And now let us think about your career when you were a student at Fresno State, right? So my question is, Alexis, what made you decide to major in fashion merchandising?
I feel like every time I talk to you, I tell the same story, but I was actually working at H&M, so a retail store, and I had no idea what I wanted my major to be. And I was like 2 years into college, and one of my coworkers actually introduced me to the fashion merchandising program, which she's also a fashion merchandising alum as well. And it kind of just like all clicked into place, and I was like, oh my gosh, why did I not know about this major? And it kind of just like all aligned. So like working in retail and then also studying it really like put everything in stone, and that's how I decided on the fashion merchandising major.
Thank you. Leah, what about you?
So for me, I would have to say it's kind of, I'm the rebel in my family. So and you laugh because that's me. My parents both are, I'm very fortunate. My mom's a paralegal and my dad's a correctional officer. So they both are state employees. Ideally, I was supposed to get a degree. Originally, I was supposed to get a degree in psychology, go and get my bachelor's in psychology, go into law school and become a DA. That would have, you're like, yeah, that would have probably been another good fit. But that was just kind of like a path that was just easy for me because that's what my family does, and it was just so simple and easy. But I always had to be the rebel, and I had to do the hardest thing possible, and I wanted to get out of Fresno. So I chose fashion merchandising because like I've danced my entire life. My mom has dressed me up head to toe, super cute my entire life. So I feel like fashion's always been there. I just had to kind of make it my own. And I definitely, like, when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I took what I loved and I did something with it and went kind of crazy. But like, when it's funny when my dad like thinks about it, he's like, I would have never thought you would have went this far with, you know, your degree. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like I work for the #1 off-price retailer. And he's like, how he kind of gets confused. He's like, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, that's how it works. I like, but I definitely could say I'm the black sheep of my own family, and I took something and I ran with it, kind of thing. So that's why I went into this major.
But apparently you choose the right major.
I did. I definitely feel like it was my own. I made it. It wasn't something that was laid out for me. I feel like if I would have went the other way, it would have been ideal. But it was too easy. It was just too easy and simple for me. I would have been a great lawyer, but I would have also been in contempt half the time. So let's just not. Save us money.
Thank you. So Alex, you were even not a fashion merchandising major, you were fashion merchandising minor, right? So what made you decide to minor in fashion merchandising?
So similar kind of setup toward with Leanne. My family was like full of engineers and they wanted me to go to engineering, and it just didn't fit with me. So I switched the business and was doing that. And at the same time, I was working at a store in Fresno, and I worked closely with the buyer, getting the store set up, helping him out with his POs, line planning, etc. And I just began to fall in love with that whole, I guess, career path. And he had suggested that if I wanted to follow in his footsteps, to look into a fashion merchandising degree. But at this point, I think I was like 5 years or 6 years into Fresno State, and I was like, I need to get out of here. So I'm just going to do the minor, and it ended up working out because here I am now at Zappos.
Yeah, thank you. So next question is, how did the fashion merchandising program prepare you for your career? So Alex, let's just start with you.
The program like just gives you a really solid foundation. It teaches you a lot of like the buzzwords and just formulas, and also the different types of merchandising opportunities that you wouldn't get like out there in any other program. So having that solid foundation from Fresno State like really helped me like move up the ladder a lot quicker here at Zappos.
Thank you. Alexis, what about you?
I kind of have to agree. It definitely set the foundation of like starting my career here at Revival 23. And just kind of like put all of those terms into my head, plus like all of the math that I'm doing now kind of like falls into line with what I'm doing here. But yeah, definitely a good foundation. I feel like working retail simultaneously helped me like pick out the things we were learning in class. Like I would actually see them happening out on the like retail floor, everything cemented.
Thank you. Leanne, what's your thought?
So for me, right out of graduating Fresno State, I worked for the #1 salt and beverage company. So it definitely was, some people would have thought, why choose this degree? It limits you so much. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't. It just makes you different. So I definitely feel like it prepared me for not just retail in the sense of clothing and, I guess hardware and stuff, but it also prepared me in other different types of retails. And it kind of gave me an understanding of that most retails actually do what we are taught in our classes. So if you're going into a degree with a business major, I feel like fashion merchandising is a good minor, or it's a good even major, because it helps you understand what you're selling. And it helps you understand the product. So if you're like, I spent time in the grocery industry, people are like, why did you do that? It's the same thing. So I definitely feel like you understand the floor plans, you understand, how things are going to go. There's a place for everything. You understand, like everything that's going on in a Target, you're going to know what's going on there, and you're going to be able to sell there. I was like, and get that space. I'm like, if you know how to sell to that customer. And so you want to be able to, like, especially when working with a third party, you understand the business, you understand how things go on. And for me, on the other end, it's just like just understanding various types of business, not just from store side, but also the distribution to the manufacturer. You have to kind of be like, being able to understand from all parties, not just one. So I think that's definitely one thing.
Thank you. So I know a lot of students are passionate about fashion and want to be successful in this industry. So the next question is, what should they do if they're passionate and they want to have a career in the fashion industry? What should they do when they are in school to get ready? So Leanne, do you want to be the first one to answer that question?
I'll actually wait and be the last if possible, because I did answer this with one of your classes, and I actually have pulled up that slide and kind of adjusted. So if Alex and Alexis want to go first, I'll kind of follow with their lead.
Okay, so Alexis, what about you? Let's start with you.
I think that they should stay current and like really keep up on like trends, just coming from like the visual merchandising and like that side of things. I feel like it would be really good to work in any type of like retail setting and just already be gaining that knowledge that you're gaining in the classroom, gain it in other ways, and just like keep your eyes and ears open when you're shopping at Target or doing something, seeing it on social media. Just like take account to what's being said around you and just learn from everything that you do, basically.
Is there anything specific that you think students should learn when they are in school?
Specific?
Yeah.
I think like keywords, making sure you know like the vocabulary and just what to like look out for, because a lot of that stuff you hear in the classroom, we're using it at work and we're relying on that knowledge.
Mhm.
All right, good. Thank you. Alex?
So I think Leanne and Alexis kind of hit it right on the head. Like working in retail is like super, super important if you want to get into this space. Like it gives you this foundation that is going to just take you to the next level. There's a lot of things you'll learn in retail that you're going to do if you end up becoming a merchandiser as well. Like a lot of the things that you're going to, you'd be surprised. Some of the things that you do in retail translate over to a merchandising career. But as far as like, stuff, learning and whatnot, business writing, like if there's a business writing class, like I highly, highly encourage you to take it. You have no idea how many presentations you're going to be putting together, how many times you're going to have to be speaking in front of like presidents and vice presidents of companies. And emails, especially, like a lot of this job is done on email. So yeah, business writing, super, super important. You have no idea how much you're gonna like be presenting and writing emails every day.
Thank you. Leanne, your turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my thing. So like I talked about, like when they are talking about building opportunities, be open to when you're, finding this foundation, don't narrow yourself down to only one job, one job. I worked 3 jobs when I was in school. So, keep your options open, build your experience, whether it's in department stores, grocery stores, warehouse, specialty, convenience. You definitely keep your options open. Don't be narrow-minded and be like, oh, I'm too good for this. No, you're not. We all started there. I'm like, work your way up. That's how I did it. Something I did talk about with Fashion Tours was career opportunities. So this is an amazing thing that you guys have on your campus right now, and I utilized it when I was there, and it is called, I believe it's in I think Damien can talk about it a little more, but it's you guys have Hire at Fresno. I believe that's what it was called when I was there. I actually got 2 jobs. One was my salary position out of college, and another was just a part-time job. So I have gotten hired up through career jobs through there. I've also had my resume and my cover letter read at the business school when I was at Fresno State. So that Dr. Davis, you know, I'm not a strong writer, and I definitely know that about myself. So I did build on that when I, was focusing in that area, trying to get out of Fresno and going in for job interviews and stuff. So that's one thing you always might want to utilize. I told you, those have seen me. I told you about cleaning up your social media. That means everything. Changing, put a cute picture on your media and stuff. Change your privacy settings, guys. I have friends too. They're dumb. I love them, but no. I don't need that relative doing those comments. No. So I clean up your media, put cute pictures, showcase what you got, but also, definitely, like Alexa said, be relevant, show what you're doing in class. You're going to go through visual merchandising. That's so much fun. And showcase that. And then let's see, utilizing class assignments. So Alex talked about writing and emailing. I do that 24/7, and I write to the East Coast. And my translation, West Coast and East Coast, two different areas. So you have to kind of be like, I need this done today. Thank you. But it's like, so BA 105 is the class I did take, which was it'll help you with your resume and cover letter, and also how to formulate emails properly. Take that. It's amazing. Your Marketing 100S class I did was a service course. It was amazing. Take advantage of that. Volunteering opportunities really look good on your resume, and you get to talk about it later in your career. I know I have. I'm going to talk about Lori Taylor Ham again, Management 104. I will learn every single thing I've learned in her class. I utilize in every single job I've been in, whether it was in school or outside of school. Understanding the rules and the tools I've used in that class is just beyond amazing. And then I think, the two main courses that we take at the end of our journey is the retail buying and the retail entrepreneurship. Guys, that is your bread and butter. Really focus on those classes, really invest your time in those classes. But also, if you are very passionate of becoming a buyer or going into planning or whatever you want, go back to your professors and say, I know I messed up, or I had a partner that bailed on me last minute, and that happened. But be proactive and be able to say, like, I want to do amazing within this job. I want to do this for a living. How can I improve? And be able to take that constructive criticism and the feedback and go for it. But I think the last thing I'll leave you guys with is setting yourself up for success. You have utilized your resources, right, Sardi? You have professors who I can tell you everything about, because I sat in their classes. I can go on for days, know what their hobbies are, I know what they do on the weekends. But they're there, they had past lives before they were teachers. So, learn from them, take their advice, utilize the Career Center. They do offer so many opportunities within developing you guys to getting you guys ready for the careers that you want to go for. And they open up so many doors for you. And it's just, please take advantage of that. But I think lastly, I will say that this generation went through something that I didn't have to go through, and I'm very fortunate for that. But it is, the pandemic, and your mental health and your personal health is a big priority. Please take care of yourself while you're going through school. Go to the health services, take advantage of the resources there, and get yourself through school. Don't feel like you need to rush it, because I know Alex and me, I'm like, we were super seniors, we were rocking it. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We all did it. I'm like, I would rather you be successful than, in the end, just feel like, oh my God, I failed. I'm like, no, you got through it. I survived it. But, very much like, take care of yourself. It's nerve-wracking going back into the classroom, and I understand it. And, just take care, but take care of yourself now, because it's going to follow you for the rest of your life.
Thank you. That's a lot of good advice. So, Alex, do you have any other suggestions and words of wisdom for current students?
I mean, besides the, getting a retail job, and the business writing course, no, I think that pretty much sums it up. Like, the retail part is super important. It really, really does give you a foundation. And I don't think it doesn't matter what industry you want to go into. If you want to get into luxury, you want to get into fashion, working a retail job at a Target or even a Walmart or even like a pet store, on the back end of things, it all looks the same. So as long as you're getting that foundation, it is very, very much so going to help you in your career. And yeah, just again, the business writing course, like super, super important. The amount of presentations you will be doing is going to be extensive once you get into this field.
Thank you. Alexis, is there anything you would like to add?
I guess just take all of your assignments and really like learn something from them. Don't just do them to do them, which obviously I'm guilty of, and I think everyone's guilty of doing that. I worked 2 jobs and went to school full time, and sometimes I didn't want to do what I had to do. But a lot of the assignments, I feel like I can look back and like reflect on them, and I still utilize them like throughout my day-to-day activities, or any of the things I did at H&M, like working that retail experience. I feel like I still pull things from working in the stock room. I feel like I still pull things that I was maybe felt like not important to me at the time. I still utilize those things like all the time here, like working here. And yeah, I guess just stay current, make connections every place you go, every panel you do, or any like magic or any trade shows you do, make connections and build those relationships with those people. It's so important. I have a good relationship with a lot of the vendors that we have, and they're so nice, and I just love talking to them and get a thrill out of it. But yeah, I guess just like also know your customer too. It's a really good thing.
Dr. Davis, if I could add on to something Alexa said that I think was super important, and that's like building relationships within your network. And then also once you get into this field, like building relationships with your vendors, like you have no idea how much like that's going to help you in the long run. When you have to make tough business decisions that are going to affect them, it really does help to have that relationship so you guys can come to an equitable agreement. So it's not just always a one-sided thing. So yeah, like relationship building is like extremely, extremely important.
Thank you. A lot of words of wisdom. Just a couple more things that I would like to add is, besides the writing and taking advantage of all the resources as everybody have already shared, another good course that everybody should think about is negotiation class. Learn to negotiate, right? So another area is basic math. When we talk about merchandising, when we talk about buying, it's all about numbers, it's all about the calculation, but very simple. It's not a complicated math, but you should be comfortable with the basic math and the skill with Excel, right? Excel is a part of the life of everybody, I think.
Yes.
And also be prepared. You should be willing to move, right? That's another important factor. Yes, as Liam talking about. Anything else?
I think the negotiation part is super, super important. You're going to do a lot of it. I've been doing a lot of that this past month. Excel, yes, you will be using Excel a lot. Knowing all the different formulas is definitely going to be helpful. And the math part, like it is like basic retail math, but it's still a lot that you're going to do.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Anything else that we would like to share and add? All right, I would like to thank everybody here, and thank you, Alex, Alexis, and Leanne. So now let us open the floor to see if we have any question from the audience. Any question?
No questions yet. Encourage students to ask questions if you have any. But someone did mention that we have a clothing closet at the Career Development Center. That would be one way for you to get some experience. You can even come in and help volunteer. We're always looking for volunteers. So if you are interested in that, stop by the Career Center. And yeah, you can get started in your career that way too.
Yes, definitely take advantage of clothing closet if you need a clothing for the interview and job fairs. Also, volunteer is a good opportunity to practice your merchandising, especially visual merchandising skills. And
Yeah, I
yes.
think I saw something on Career Centers last night was they were going to partner with Paul Mitchell and the Career Centers to prepare you guys for interviews, which is great going into seasonal times. Especially want to get those seasonal jobs. Those are how a lot of us, probably got our jobs is seasonally, and then they kept us forever and stuff. So yeah, I think I saw that last night. I was almost.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do have an event going on Thursday. So for you to get ready for the career fair. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Wonderful. Just to talk about taking classes, do take advantage of all your classes, as our panelists already discussed it. Like your basic accounting and finance classes, we may not be experts in those areas, but the basic knowledge from accounting and finance will help you to be a good business person, right? In the business world, you at least should understand the meanings of numbers and how to interpret those numbers and use those knowledge to make sound merchandising decisions, no matter it is buying or selling or product development. All right, I think that is.
Can we ask each other questions? Because I like questions.
Yeah,
I have a
definitely.
question. Okay, Alex, I have a question. I've been seeing videos back in the day. You guys have a fun workspace and there's like mini golf that goes on. Is that true? Is it like?
Yeah, I'm currently in our board game room. So there's like the operation guy right here. And then there's probably luxury tables. But yeah, like Zappos is an extremely fun environment. We do have mini golf. We're getting ready for our annual Halloween charity event where we all dress up and play golf out here in Vegas. So yeah, there's a really awesome work-life balance here with Zappos.
Okay, so you guys are getting ready for tea time. Love it.
Yep.
Yeah. And then let's see.
That
Alexis. Oh, I got questions, Dr. Davis. For Alexis.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What are you guys planning for the fall? I mean, like, is there any fall events that you guys are preparing for, like buying wise? Like, you guys have to kind of like prepare in advance. But like, is there any events going on locally that you know about the top of your head?
I know that we have One Enchanted Evening in Old Town Clovis. But that's like pretty much it. I know that we're definitely trying to drive like people to our new location, but I guess over there, I don't know if you're familiar in Fresno of Heirloom.
Yeah. I ate there. It's really good.
So their new restaurant is going to be opening across the street from our new location in the next couple months. So I guess that's really big for us, and that's good for Fresno.
It's really good food. So.
Yeah, it's really good food.
It's really good food. Like, anyone hasn't been there. I had to go there.
Pretty excited for that. I think that'll drive business to that new shopping area. But
Cool. I just thought about something. When you guys looking for jobs, do you study the companies and do study the culture of the company? You want to work with a company that have the same value that you have. I think that's why all these panelists here are so happy and enjoying their position and work, right?
Yeah, definitely do your research on where you're trying to go to and tailor your resume, cover letter, and even how you present yourself to them, like to their company culture and what they're looking for. When I interviewed at Zappos, in the email, it said, do not dress up. It makes us feel uncomfortable. And I remember leaving my house and my mom sees me like in this flannel shirt with some jeans and boots. She's like, you can't wear that. You need to go change. I'm like, no, like the email says, do not dress up. And sure enough, like I get to the office and there is like a wall of ties that they've cut off from people who've dressed up coming to the office. So I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I followed the email, did my research, and did not dress up for this interview.
Wonderful.
So for me, it's all because of fashion tours. That's all your fault, Dr. Davis. You exposed me to TJ Maxx, and it's all been downhill from there. I love, I started at the stores, and somehow I ended up in the DC. I mean, I think a lot of it with what's her name, from the product specialist that we would come in.
Katie.
Before she retired. Katie, yeah, Katie Dickinson. And just her love and her passion for the company and then meeting them. And then now I just came, like I said, I just met with the East Coast team, and oh my God, it's dangerous. I literally put out the comments. I was like, okay, now I want to go to a combo store and go shopping and redo my whole bedroom that I do not need to do. But oh my God, I definitely love the culture. It's a very family-like environment. Unfortunately, like I've had to take bereavement twice this last year. That's why I'm in Fresno right now. So it's just like, but they are very loving and supporting, and it's great to like, I went back for one day of work and my coworkers were just making me laugh. And after like 4 days of crying, like, I'm sorry, but having a good laugh and you're just like red cheeks and everyone's like, Leanne, where have you been? I'm like, I can't go on vacation. Like, no, you can't. And I'm like, oh gosh, I thought I could. But it's just like, it's great. It's great to be around people, and it's great to be, especially after a pandemic, but good people, good vibes. And that's where, I definitely, like, I love where I work on a daily basis.
Yeah. Definitely, if you love fashion, if you love retail, you have to be a people person, right? You have to have very good people skills. So when you're taking classes, pay attention to those soft skills, how to talk with people, how to interact with people. That is very important.
In group projects, and making sure that even though that they're not helping you or doing their half of the work, that it's very important to try to communicate with the ones that don't want to communicate with. And trust me, you will get those points for not being a team player, because I did. But yes, learn from my mistakes, and just be a team player, communicate, but also remember that Google Docs documents everything, and that you can forward it to Dr. Davis and say they weren't doing their work. You can give them zero. You can give them zero credit. And the thing is, it does show you, so she can see it of who contributed and who didn't. So just do your best, but also accountability. I definitely just know that it will catch up with you, and I can definitely say it's your projects I don't miss, but you're gonna have to do them in your career. You're gonna have to, and sometimes you're gonna have to pull other people's places. Like I said, due to unforeseen circumstances, some people may go on bereavement, maybe going on maternity leave. All of a sudden, they cannot come back to work, and you're like, oh, well, she's on bed rest, unfortunately. So it's just, there's just unforeseen things that you're gonna have to pick up the slack and just get it done. And,
yeah, I think you make a really good point, Leanne, because especially like group projects, like you think, oh, I'm not gonna have to do these like in my career. No, you're gonna have to work within different departments, different cross-functional teams, and every single different department or team is gonna have their own opinion or their own strategy on how they want this project to be done. And so it's being able to navigate that, manage those relationships, the politics of everything as well is really, really important.
Yeah, I deal with that with certain departments. Like certain personalities,
Mhm.
you just have to, they do things a different way, and you have to understand that one department may do it one way and another department may do it another way. And you have to kind of, like you said, emails, like you have to understand how to put it in wording and how to word it. And even Alexis, you said it, like understand how to communicate and how to say, understand the lingo, because it is so important within the lingo, being like, okay, due to transportation, product is fragile. Can we, we need to send it by this. That's what I mean. A lot of my job is to avoid loss of the company, to avoid any losses and stuff. And so then they understand,
Right.
certain things. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We have to learn to be a team player. That's a very important skill that we need to practice when you're at the school, since we have so many team projects, right? Although it's painful at the times, but those are great learning and practicing opportunities. Wonderful.
Yeah. And don't select your best friends. I'm like, I love Kelly. You know this. I love my best friends, but it's just like, it's fun to work with other people and to be able to learn from them, because I think when you select your favorite classmates, you already know, like you guys already have a game plan. Like you think it's gonna make things easier, but you're hurting yourself in the end. You're not learning how to work with other people, other individuals. You're just staying in your comfort zone, and don't be afraid of not being in your comfort zone. I feel like if I can go back and do things differently, I would have probably not have been with Kelly. I love Kelly dearly, but it just, we are, I think I would have wanted to do more versus relying on her a little bit more, because she is my best friend. So it just, I definitely can say, like, be open to other people, select teammates out of a hat or something next time, and just kind of go from there, because you'll learn more from your counterparts than you may learn from anybody else.
Yeah, especially if you're always like working with like your friends or your favorite coworkers, like it just can become an echo chamber where you're all just saying the same thing over and over again. Whereas if you work with people that you may not know or talk to on a regular basis, you can learn new ways to do things or tackle projects that you would have never thought of, because you're getting someone else's perspective that's completely different from your own.
Yes, those are very good advice. And I did see some good friends become enemies after group project too.
It wasn't me. I can say me and Kelly are still good friends.
Thank you all. I think we had a wonderful time here. So last word for Alexis.
I guess just keep going through school. The projects, they'll end at some point, and you will graduate at some point, and you'll get to get into a field that you love and that you have been pursuing X amount of years, and it's all worth it in the end. And just keep going on, and you'll find a company that you love, and you'll go to work and you won't feel like it's work, and you'll be ready for the next day, and you'll be excited to go in the next day. But yeah.
Thank you. All right, I think we had a wonderful time here, and let us conclude today's webinar. Thank you all.
Thank